off and running. The plane has left the tarmac.
Let's go.
So today I got my good friend Mauricio Mejia, old friend. We go way back, man. Party days, like to where we're at now. Now he's my client, and man, the mic's yours. Let it rip. Let's start from the beginning of times. Let him know.
Well, Dan, we go way back. We go back to the City Nights Sound Factory days when I just moved up to the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Actually, I finished my last 2 years of high school up here in the Bay. So for those of you that don't know, I was raised in L.A., and I moved to the Bay in 1994. And life has been nothing but a big roller coaster.
It's like one big-ass movie, huh? Like I remember you, man, when you were handing out flyers.
Yeah. I came from L.A. I was in the nightclub business in L.A., and I was still in high school, but I was already doing parties. And I was already drinking in high school. So, man, I barely made it through high school.
Bro, I remember
by third period, I was already buzzed.
Dude, I remember our mutual friend Mauricio Salazar telling me, like, this guy, he's young, but he gets in all the clubs and all the spots.
Yeah.
He just wings it. I'm like, fuck, I want to know how he does it. I want to get in the clubs too, man, because, you know, when you're younger, it's like a game. Like, what clubs can we get into? I got into, I think it was DV8 or DNA, where it had it was open upstairs. Do you remember that club on the corner?
It wasn't DNA.
It was a two-story club, but upstairs was open.
Oh, that's the old Oasis.
There you go.
The old Oasis. Yeah, that's the one that's it's got it's got a rooftop.
Yes,
Yeah. No, there's that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you a funny story about that. How I got in that club. So we're chilling. I'm with some older homies from the mission. We're kicking it. They're older. I'm probably like 17. And I was like, fuck, I can't get in. I have no fake eyes. We're going to go get you in. Bro, they played a homeless dude a couple bucks to stand on all fours. Put me on his back. I stood on his back. A big-ass dude. I can't remember his name. He was from 22nd Mission Hogs. He reached over, bro, with his whole body and pulled me up the fucking side of the wall.
Damn.
17-year-old kid in Oasis. That's crazy. I wish we could have filmed it. Obviously, we would have no cameras back then, but, you know, I got into some clubs as a minor. It was always a challenge to try to get in these clubs, 21 and up.
Yeah. No, it's, you know, for me, I would started at young age, started in L.A., and when I moved up to the Bay, I tell the story, you know, how it really went down. I moved up to the Bay not by choice.
Yeah.
I almost killed somebody when I was in high school. I was living. I've talked about it before. Growing up as a kid, my mom, single mom, and a younger sister. So single mom, myself and my sister, and mom just had to work, right?
Yeah.
And then my mom just used to get crossed up in some bad relationships, and one day when we lost everything, my mom had to just kind of disperse us, right? See survival, and I ended up moving in with this guy whose name was Timothy Nugent. Timothy was a movie editor for Steven Spielberg.
Okay.
And our office used to be right behind Star Search.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. Back in the, I mean, you talk about going way back. And his son and I were friends in high school. But the kid was fucked up. He was fucking around with drugs at a young age. Back in the early 90s, PCP was a big thing.
Leños. Yep.
Yeah, so they were mixing it with their weed and smoking it out.
Yep.
And one day, you know, just when I was we were living up in the hills in Monrovia. It was crazy. It's crazy when I think back. Our neighbor was Kiefer Sutherland, fucking Kevin Costner.
Oh, man.
So we lived up in the hills in Monrovia. It was in the foothills. It was a nice area. And I just remember, man, I needed to find some discipline because, you know, I was already in the club scene at a young age. And that moving into somebody else's house and being, you know, you're not in your own home, right? And and you're young and you don't
feel comfortable.
You don't know what you're doing, right? So I remember I started seeking for some kind of discipline, so I joined the LA County Sheriff's Explorer program.
Yeah, okay.
And it was it's like pre-military. I mean, they really fucking now. You can imagine I had this, you know, pompadour hairdo, looking like James. I was like the Latino Brandon from fucking 90210 and shit,
man.
bro. And I remember, and I had sideburns and all that, and
Damn.
I remember I went when I enrolled into this academy. I got got sponsored by the department. I didn't have no money for the suits or anything like that, and
Yeah.
so I remember going to the first day of academy, and they tell you, man, no sideburns,
Yep.
short hair,
Yes.
bald. If you're a guy, they'll tell you to bald it or something like, right. It's like military.
Look like a homie and shit.
I remember walking in, and there was 150 cadets or explorers in this class, and they start giving the drills. I mean, they have drill sergeants are in your face. They're like, "Oh, you look at yourselves," you know, and they tell you half of you are not going to be here by the end of the academy and all that. I mean, they really just
Hammer you.
Yeah, they hammer you. And I remember they they came up to me. They're like, "Mejia, what about these sideburns?" And I said, "What about them?" And he says, "Didn't you read that you had to no sideburns?" And I'm like, "Bro, I was the most
Yeah,
stupid."
those long ass ones.
Yeah, it was the most stupidest shit that came out of my mouth. I'm like, "Well, because I'm doing modeling."
Oh my God, you did not tell them that.
I swear to
That's
God.
hella funny, bro. They probably looked at you crazy.
Oh, I imagine 100, and there were some kids that started laughing, right?
I bet.
And the drill instructors had to shut everybody down. Yeah. Oh, we got a model in here? We got a model in here? So I brought some attention to myself,
yes, you
right?
did.
That's the young ego, right?
Yep.
I wanted to get that attention, like I was trying to make myself look cool. Well, they made me feel cool because they said, since Mr. Mejia hasn't shaved his sideburns, does anyone on here have a extra razor blade? And somebody popped up and said yes. He says, Mejia, you have 5 minutes to go to the bathroom right now and shave those sideburns off. He goes, and we're not going to start until you get back. So
put you on blast
right in front of 150 people, and literally had to run to the bathroom. Yeah. And I felt like I wanted to cry because my sideburns were so badass.
Yeah.
So, and I had to shave my sideburns and got back in line. And I just remember it was and I got drilled, and they're like, good. From this point moving forward, you're gonna follow the rules and this and that. And I was like, what? Like rules? Like it was crazy. It was a crazy feeling. But I was seeking discipline, so I got what I asked for.
Oh yeah, you did.
And what that did was that it woke me up. I was always into sports, so I was an athlete. Played football, baseball, ran track, water polo, any kind of sport. I played, and I was good at it. High school just got a little just crazy because I got into the party scene, right? And not
makes two of us.
I got into the nightlife scene, not really the party scene yet, just the nightlife. Going to the teen clubs, and then when I got my break in promoting, and really was passing out flyers. I wasn't promoting. It sounds cute, right? When I say promoting,
yeah.
But really, I was a flyer monkey. I was out there passing out flyers.
Yeah.
And I wasn't afraid. I was like, it was something that I wanted to do. And I just remember that as I was going through this academy, every Saturday we started like at 6 in the morning, and we'd be done at 6 in the afternoon, and it was in Whittier. And from Whittier to where I lived in Monrovia, with even LA traffic, it was about a fucking hour. So I would get home, it'd be like 6:30, not 6:30, it'd be about 7:30, almost 8 o'clock.
The traffic was still bad back then, too?
Yeah, fuck yeah. LA's notorious for traffic, man.
Notorious, right?
Yeah, 30 years later, man, there's still traffic going. It's even worse now.
Worse.
So I remember walking up the hill, and this is crazy, right? I mean, I feel like I'm in a Forrest Gump fucking movie when I talk about this shit.
It's good to go back.
Yeah, because during that time in the 90s, we had fucking Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. He was terrorizing L.A.
Yeah,
and fucking
100%.
And there was a curfew in L.A.
because of him.
Because of him. So after 8 o'clock or after a certain time, nobody was. There was just they wanted people less out in certain areas, and this was in the Arcadia Monrovia area. So I remember when I was walking up the hill, because we had to. My guys, the guys that we would carpool with, would drop us all off at the bottom, and fuck a la verga, we have to walk, right?
That's how it was back then. You walk.
Yeah, you walk. There was no anyway. So I remember walking, and I from a distance I can hear some yelling, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking Dan. Dan is the kid, the son, and he's arguing with his dad. He's like, fuck you, this and that, and all of a sudden I just see the fucking kid just whack his dad.
Damn.
and his dad, all of a sudden I just saw, like, literally, like, right in front of my face, I just saw him fall back and hit his back of his head. I could hear the gunk, right? On on the concrete.
Ooh.
And he's fucking knocked the fuck out. And then this motherfucker looks at me and he starts saying, "What the fuck you looking at, spick? Wet back?" Fucking starts talking shit to me.
Whoa.
And I'm looking at this.
Flipped the switch on you, huh?
But I could see the devil that was in his eyes, man.
He was on one.
He was on one. He was whatever the fuck he was angry about or whatever he was on.
Plus, he was on some shit.
Yeah, and that's what I knew he was on some shit, man. It just the symptoms and just though his behavior was so erratic.
Yeah.
And I remember this motherfucker looked at me and said, "What are you looking at, spick? You wetback?" And I think that because I was in a bad situation already. I didn't this motherfucker fucking trying to remind me of the shit or trying to make me feel bad. So I was like, and I came from the streets. I grew up in Highland Park, man, and
those are fighting words right there. Someone says that to us.
Yeah, so I mean, I grew up. I changed my life because I made that decision, not because, growing up in the streets, I grew up with a bunch of Sureños. I grew up with 18th Street. I grew up with White Fence. I grew up with fucking Mara Salvatrucha. I mean, I knew them all as a kid because they were all trying to recruit me when I was a kid. So it's just a matter of which one was going to win. But I grew up in the streets, man. Fucking, it was on. I used to whoop fucking kids' ass. They try to bully me or like, and I was a fighter. As a kid, I was a fighter.
And you're a shorter dude, so you probably got tested a lot.
Oh yeah, no. It was on. And the beautiful part was that because I liked to fight when I was a kid,
it was fun.
I whooped ass. Like I would no fear.
Yeah.
Like no fear. Like fucking what? Boom. Just like let's go at it. Like just the craziness. So, but I stopped, right? Because I started seeking something a little bit better. I just saw my life at a young age just going into a fucking tailspin.
Did you ever vision yourself if you had not changed your life, you'd end up in prison?
Oh, I'd be dead right now. I'd be dead. Yeah,
did you have like progressive thinking, like to know that if I don't change this shit now, I'm gonna end up like some of these homies? Because I thought the same thing. That's why I kind of got away from the lifestyle. I grew up in the Mission, gangbang, and I've seen some friends get killed. I've seen friends go off to prison. I said, nah, man, I don't want to be part of this shit. No way.
Yeah, I think where I realized is my mom always tried to give me a better life, give my sister and myself and my sister a better life. And I just remember was hanging out with this kid from 18th Street back in the day. One day we just wanted to fuck shit up, right? And we went and we tagged up the school. Fucking, I mean, we tagged up a white boy school. Like we went, like the school that I was going to, we went and we fucking tagged it up. I mean, it's the most fucking probably stupidest shit, right?
Yeah,
that I could do in retrospect when you think about it. Yeah. And there's 5 Latinos that go to this fucking school. There's probably like 8 blacks that go to the school. The rest is Asian and whites. And a few maybe...
What's the name of the school?
South Pasadena Junior High.
Oh, okay. Pasadena's a nice area, right?
Oh, Pasadena's beautiful. South Pasadena's even more beautiful, right?
Okay.
And so we fuck up the school, and like, what the fuck were we thinking? So guess what? And then I'm wearing Nike Cortez. I'm wearing my blue fucking...
The Cortez.
I'm wearing my fucking jeans creased, and, so it automatically profiled. I mean, you can't say, oh, because I'm Latino. No, it's because you look like a little fucking gangster, little cholito, right? So... They called us into the office, and I remember.
Oh, you were going to the school?
Oh yeah, I was going to school, and so I tagged my own school. Like, yeah. So anyway, so they call us in, and I stood my ground. And I'm like, I didn't rat nobody out. Well, the guy that really they cracked his head. He's like, because they came back and they said, well, hey, your boy over there saying you did. So are you gonna take it, or are you gonna, or are you gonna tell on him? I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, and I never did anything. And then he's like, well, he said that, and I was like, fuck, man. It's like, so from that point moving forward is when I decided that I wanted to change my life, man. That's why I was seeking that discipline, right? Yeah. Because this motherfucker ratted me out. And I got...
He really ratted you out? Or did they play the game against you guys?
He ratted me out because at the end, he apologized. When we got out, he apologized to me, and I'm like, bro, he got expelled. And I got punished. I had to clean the school, and I ended up. That was part of one of the most humiliating things of my life. I had to fucking. I had to clean the school, the toilets, the bathrooms with hot water and bleach, and it was pretty. It was fucking
humbling.
It was brutal, man. And I remember I started crying. At first, I thought I was a badass. I was like, clean it up real quick, right? I'm gonna get through this. Janitor came back. He goes, no, son. He goes, no. You need to get underneath the toilet.
He was having fun with you.
Yeah, he says you need to get underneath the sinks. And I remember when I started smelling that shit, I can smell it right now just thinking about that shit. I just realized that this is not where I'm supposed to be in life.
Yeah.
Literally, after that weekend, after spending 8 hours in the school, that woke me up, and I said, nah, fuck, there's more in life than this bullshit.
Yeah.
Literally, when I got home, I put my Nike Cortez, I put my clothes in a box, and I threw the motherfuckers away.
Damn.
Literally. Mike, I'm not fucking, no bullshit, God's my witness. I literally took all of that shit and threw it away. The next day, I was like a fucking disco bunny, bro. I pompadored my hair, I wore a different shirt. I wore my nightclub clothes to school. So going back to like the discipline, I'm seeing this motherfucker talk shit to me, right?
Oh yeah, let's go back to that story.
Yeah, so this motherfucker's talking shit.
Yeah.
So for me, you got this white boy kid, and I got no issues with anybody, bro. But you're gonna talk some shit, you're gonna cross some lines.
Yeah.
It wasn't the time for me. So I remember I didn't even say nothing. I just knew I was like, I'm gonna fucking kill this motherfucker. I didn't give a fuck. Like he snapped me. Because I was already snapped, right? I was already lost home. I was already kind of homeless already, right? I'm now jumping from people's homes, trying to figure out my life. So I remember the house was on the hill, so we had to go up like 30, 40 steps just to get to the house. So it was because that's how it was. And I remember going upstairs, and I said, fuck this motherfucker. And since we were athletes, we had the best bats. We had the best gear of everything, so because the dad would take care of us, right? While I was living there, and I was still an athlete and playing for school and all that, and I was just trying to make a better life.
Yeah.
So I remember, man, I fucking got in that room. There was a room that we shared, and I remember I fucking grabbed the bat, dude, and I fucking hid right behind the door. And at the time, it was crazy because the Chronic had just come out. So I remember that song was playing in the background. And I'm telling you, man, it feels like a fucking movie. And I can hear this dude coming up the stairs. I can hear his footsteps. My senses got so fucking crazy. Like, just, whoa. Like, I think I was going through a moment of insanity, bro. And I remember I cocked the bat. And I cocked it because the door opened would open towards me, and then the light switch was right there. And I remember that I had already visualized it, that as soon as this motherfucker pops his head, I'm just going to fucking crack it and pop right on the wall. And I remember when he opened up the door and he flickered that light on, bro, that motherfucker saw... I never see someone turn so white and ghost.
He knew he fucked up.
Yeah, he must have seen the devil in my eyes. And I remember when I was about to, I felt it. It was a split second of like just, I remember I was about to fucking just crack it, and I dropped the bat, man. And I probably sobered him up. And I remember taking off. I passed out. I ran down the stairs. The father still knocked the fuck out. He's laying on the ground. I'm thinking like, what the fuck, is this guy dead? So I take off running to the nearest. I go all the way down to the foothills, and there's a 7-Eleven. I jump on the phone, on the payphone. There's no payphones now. There's payphones back in the day.
I know.
And I did a collect call to a family member up in San Francisco. And one of my cousins was CHP. And I called my cousin, and I'm like, yo, cousin, I said, this is what happened. I almost fucking, and I tell him the whole story. And he says, Chele, he goes, and Chele, he calls me Chele because I'm light-skinned. So, Chele. He goes, Chele, he goes, do me a favor. He goes, go to the nearest police station and tell them what just happened. Now, mind you, I'm still wearing my greens, and I'm wearing my white T-shirt, but my green pants from the academy.
Yeah.
So, and those uniforms look like I'm a deputy, but I'm obviously a fucking kid.
Yeah.
So I remember I ended up going to Monrovia PD, and I told them what the fuck happened. The crazy part that I thought, I'm like, fuck, I'm Latino, I'm this kid, fucking... I'm in this white neighborhood. I don't know if the fucking guy is dead. The father's dead, and so they ended up sending a unit up there, and everything. He ended up being okay. Ended up going to the hospital. Blah blah blah. Fucking bullshit happened. From that point over, literally, my mom that same weekend ended up driving my sister and myself to the Bay Area, and that's how I ended up in the Bay Area.
Wow.
It's crazy, man. I remember
that's a crazy story.
I remember my last weekend in LA. Fuck, we partied so fucking crazy. It was like the best fuck. I mean, LA to me, the spirit of partying for me in LA came with me to the Bay, and that's how my journey started up here, man. I was already in the club scene, and when I got up here, I just
you saw it wide open.
Man, I was a fucking kid in a candy store.
Let's see.
City Nights.
Sound Factory obviously was popping.
Yeah, Envy was popping.
DVA was popping. The nightlife in Frisco was pretty dope back then.
Yeah, fucking Palladium. There was Release, 1015 Folsom.
And that's just San Francisco. San Jose was popping its own self.
San Jose was
popping.
So I moved to San Francisco. I was living in San Francisco I lived there for a year. I ended up going to Westmore High School.
Yep.
In Daly City. Yeah, I ended up going there for 1 year. And then I got kicked out of my cousin's house there because I didn't give a fuck about the rules, right? And I was already going to Sound Factory. I was at City Nights. The first 6 months that I got up to the Bay Area, I fucking threw my first party. I was like, fuck this, I'm doing a party. It was a big flop, but I didn't give a fuck. I was like, whatever. It didn't cost me any money, just some flyers. No big deal. Fucking Ray Bobbitt over at City Nights was the general manager at the time.
I knew Ray.
Yeah, Ray was the first one. He gave me the first break in San Francisco, so I got to give him much props. And Bay Area was just ready to go. And I came up with that LA edge, man.
You weren't scared to lose. You didn't have no fear of failure.
No, man.
That's the difference between a lot of people these days is everybody's so afraid to lose, have fear of failure. People quit before they even start something these days. This era is soft, man, 2024. It's crazy.
I think what's happened is that the kids that were the next generation after us, just didn't get they got the participation trophies. That's what we call them.
Facts.
Fuck that. We didn't get no trophy. If you didn't win, you didn't get shit.
Yep.
You got a pizza party.
Yes. True.
And even at the pizza party, you sucked because you lost, and you everybody was like, fuck this, So there was always incentive to make better. But I think again, coming to the Bay Area, I saw opportunity at a young age. After I left from Westmore, I ended up moving to the East Bay to Richmond, San Pablo. I lived with another cousin, and I finished high school up there at El Cerrito High.
Okay. Different crowd over there,
yeah,
huh?
Different.
Way different from Daly City, bro. Night and day.
Yeah, different vibe.
Yep.
And at that time, I was already getting involved with some college kids at Berkeley, at UC Berkeley. So, and there was a big population of Latinos that were going over UC Berkeley that were from LA.
Oh,
so
I didn't know that.
There was a big population there, and I got hooked up with my boy David Garcia, who had just moved up from LA. He was going to Berkeley, and he was a DJ from Power 106, and I knew that whole Power 106 stuff. And fuck, we hooked up, and I became the promoter. He was the DJ, and we fucking rocked. We started at this little place called Berkeley Square, and a little dive hole, and we packed that motherfucker, 600-700 college kids. And
they love the party too, boy.
And the journey started right there, man. And then, nightlife, and it just started. It was just in my blood. And again, opportunities were knocking. I ended up coming to. I actually finished high school, and I got accepted to both San Francisco and San Jose State. San Francisco was too fucking cold for me, so I never.
Yeah, it's way different than LA. The vibe is much different. It's night and day too.
Yeah, I never liked San Francisco, and so I ended up picking San Jose State over San Francisco just because San Jose reminded me of LA.
Very similar.
Yeah, the weather.
The closest city I would say up north would be San Jose to LA.
Oh 100%. Yeah. It's like a miniature LA, so mini LA. So I ended up going to San Jose State and decided I wanted to really pursue that. So I was a double major, declared right off the bat, double major, radio, television, and film, and business marketing. And at the same time, I started promoting nightclubs in San Jose. I started working over at the old Studio 47, Tropicana.
Popping clubs too,
boy.
No,
popping. It just, first break that I got, I was working with Greg Lopez, Billy Vidal, David Garcia, and we took over the old Studio 47. They used to do a party called Hollywood Junctions there, and we turned it out. We turned it into the Fun House, and then boom, San Jose started, man.
Yeah,
and
San Jose was popping back then. I used to come up here with Mauricio. We'd come up here and other friends, but we were young, so we were like 18, 19, 20. We weren't getting into 21 clubs, but we'd come up here just to cruise alone was badass. Just on Santa Clara. picking up chicks, pull over, talk to girls. You know, it was fun. San Jose was a popping city, man. I'm from Frisco, so we'd have to drive 50 miles in each direction.
Yeah.
Imagine going 50 miles away from home.
Yeah.
That's how popping San Jose was all back then.
Yeah, man. San Francisco for me, the party scene was just a different vibe.
Yeah.
And San Jose, you had the cruising, Santa Clara.
Yes.
So for me, I had to because I knew how to guerrilla market. I didn't give a fuck. I used to walk in between the cars and passing out flyers to all the
On
hot
the strip.
chicks. Yeah, just
That's
like
smart.
Yo, what's up, girls? Here, like blah blah. Here's my party, blah blah. And because I was never afraid, I didn't give a fuck. You know, I'd walk up to it like there was dudes that were like all fucking pussies about talking to chicks, and I'm like, bro, like let's go.
Yeah.
I was pushing, right, because I wasn't afraid of it. And but and always ever since I was a kid, even though my work ethic has always been strong. For whatever reason, it's embedded in me. So I just remember that when we kicked it off, fucking party scene just started. We popped it off because San Jose needed it, and from that point on, I remember we kicked it off 1996, 1996 to 2010. I dominated the South Bay market. So I did all ages on Sundays, 18 and over on Fridays, 21 and over on Sundays, and Saturday nights too. I mean, it was popping.
You know what's crazy is about Sundays is you guys, San Jose was the only city doing it. Frisco didn't have nothing on Sundays.
Yeah.
We were driving from Frisco on a Sunday, be popping out here.
Yeah, we used to do
Sundays was popping.
Club Miami on the second floor, the original one.
Popping.
We had one of the largest patios in the South Bay.
Yes.
I mean, when they talk about these Sunday barbecues or Sunday day parties, we've been doing this shit since the early 90s.
Yeah.
They just renamed them and repackaged them.
Yes.
And but yeah, no, it was on, and I just remember again just my career taking off. I ended up on my fourth year of at San Jose State. I decided I wanted to quit school. I was already making money. I felt that I had reached where I wanted to be, and I was like, "Fuck school! I don't need this shit." I'm like, I remember that on the first day of school, walking into one of my classes, and this little Japanese guy walks in, and all I hear him say is "want want want want" chapter 22, and I was like, "What the fuck? What happened to chapter 1?" And it just and I was like, fuck this. I already felt like I was failing. My mindset wasn't there. I knew where I wanted to be. I wanted to make money. And the second class I attended, there was this lady walked in, all sloppy Joe shit, just all over a hot mess. And I'm like, this lady's gonna teach me how to make money? Like, and that's how my mindset, I was like, I didn't see no value in it. And I remember, and at the time, and I already had a cell phone, so I had a little flip Motorola phone. So I remember I flipped my phone and dropped all the classes, man. I just dropped. I said, fuck, I'm done. I don't need this shit.
Yeah.
And I dropped, and I never looked back.
You know what's crazy is a lot of people go to college for that, to learn business, right? And the teacher, the instructor, teaching the class, you're like, wait a minute, bro. You're not even rich your goddamn self.
Yeah.
You haven't even made your own first million, so how are you going to teach me?
Yeah.
That's like me being your coach, but then I'm 300 pounds, but I'm giving you advice on how to fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like I always use that analogy. Like, I'm not going to go to the homeless guy on the corner of 7-Eleven and ask for advice. I'm going to come to you because you've been in business, you've been in nightlife, you've been in the industry, you played with some serious money, so I'm going to come to you. But I don't understand these kids that spend X amount of dollars, tons of dollars to take these business courses from these people that never done nothing themselves in life. Yeah. They might know the blueprint to it, but they haven't done it themselves. They haven't applied it.
Right. Their blueprint or their plan is selling that with the system.
The course, yeah, the system.
And really, that's what it is. They're selling systems. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good stuff that's out there. Good stuff that you can listen to and that you can learn from.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, no, I mean, for me, it was I was already making money, and I was just like, fuck this, I don't need this, and let me just focus on my career. So I dropped out on my fourth year, and went all in. I talk about it. I wrote a book. It's called Decide, Commit, Execute, and I remember I made the decision. I committed to my decision, and I executed. And I think that's where when I look back now, I think of all the things that I've done where it starts with a decision. You got to commit and then you execute.
You got to go all in.
And then you got to go all in.
Can't half step. I keep saying that. Half steppers don't get nowhere in life.
And that's what opened up the door for me to go do what I wanted to do. And I have no regrets, man. I have done some of the biggest and dopest parties.
Facts.
I've gotten to meet some of the fucking coolest artists: Black Eyed Peas, Madonna, U2, fucking Jamie Foxx, Cedric the Entertainer, fucking Manolo from Scarface.
Yeah, I know you sent me a picture of him. That's cool.
I mean, there was so many people that I got to meet in the industry, so many artists, just because of being behind the scenes and being a part of the production side. And for me, man, and I had a great mentor, Harry Evans. Man, I love that man.
Harry was the man.
He's a gangster.
Harry's the godfather of San Jose. Everybody knows who. Anybody who's been around the nightlife. I was a bouncer, but not directly for him, but for Jenny, who was a nightclub manager. I think she was part owner of one of the clubs with Harry, but everybody knew Harry was the man.
Yeah, no, he just had swagger, man. So I just, and I remember when I got hired to work with him, in 1997, I remember, man. That's that year was I felt like my dream have come true. I got the job that I wanted, and really it wasn't even a job. It was more of a fucking learning ground for me. I was getting paid to go to school.
Yep.
And I remember that I was a sponge. Fucking, I'd get there. I'd want to get to the office at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'd leave at 8 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. I would stay there all fucking day. Like, I didn't care. I loved it so much because I learned so much.
You were hungry.
Yeah, I was starving. I was literally I was starving for knowledge, not money, because I was making money already. That at the point where, the opportunity to open up my own club, I took it. I took all that energy, and I didn't have any money. I didn't have any money to put together like that. But I remember I was like, it's gonna cost $1 million to put this shit together. I'm like, fuck it, let's go. I mean, I remember signing the lease with no money. I was just like, I didn't give a fuck.
You rolled the dice.
I rolled the dice hard on that one, but because I knew that I was selling a vision, a dream.
Yeah.
And I was not afraid.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a common thing here today. That I'm just not afraid. I'm not afraid to take those chances and to bet on myself. And again, work ethic comes along the way. The crazy part, Mike, about all this shit was that I fell in love with the glitz and the glamour, but I never fell in love with the amenities that came with fucking nightlife. The drinking, the drugs, and the chicks. It wasn't about that for me. It was about fucking making money and being that business guy. The problem is that, just like anything, you become what you surround yourself with.
Facts.
And that's the crazy part that, I remember I've never touched drugs as a kid. I grew up with the fucking say no to drugs, Nancy Reagan, Ronald Reagan era.
I remember that. Yep.
Fucking dare.
Or what about they show the frying pan and they crack your egg. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. And they show.
So I was traumatized by that shit. That shit worked for me.
Did it?
For me it was like fuck drugs, and then not
even weed, huh?
No. So thank God, man. I hated the smell of that shit.
Damn,
so true
I can't say the same.
True story. My mom dated this one guy, and as a kid, this guy he was a fucking cartel guy, and from Mexico, and they were from Tijuana. And I remember as a kid seeing these big ass fucking tote bags of fucking weed. I never liked the smell of it, bro. I hated the smell because I was a pretty boy, bro. I wanted to smell like cologne. I didn't want to. I never smoked cigars. Cigarettes or fucking. Yeah. It just made me grossed out. It was never my thing.
Cigarettes are like that for me.
And for me, like I remember my first drink. I was fucking 15 years old at Red Onions in West Covina. That was my first drink. That was Again, I was exposed to a lot at a young age. And I got to see some fucking crazy drugs, man. I saw fucking bowls of cocaine. I saw just people ripping lines. I saw people with their jaws swinging, and that was never attractive to me. And then fucking, as I was in the scene, the first time that I ever tried anything, I was 25 years old.
It's crazy that you didn't even get into the game back then, knowing who your mom was dating. The connection was right in front of you.
No.
See, that's where me and you were different. I would have asked him like, "Yo, can I get down with this?"
Yeah.
I chase money, but I chasing that. I would have saw an opportunity like, let me get down with this. I know myself. I would have definitely been in it. 100%.
I remember one of the clubs in L.A. that I was trying to work with. It was called the Riviera. Was in Eagle Rock, and part of the Bambino family owned that place. And I remember meeting the owners of that place, and I knew they were moving. So I saw the shit. I was like, "Fuck, this is crazy."
But you got to remember, everybody of that era, bro, was in the game on one way or another. In the 80s, 90s, you weren't. It wasn't clean money. It was you're washing your fucking dope money into the nightlife.
And for me, I had no clue about that because I went into it innocently, right?
Yes.
I fell in love with the glitz and the glamour. I fell in love with the power, actually. The guy that stands at the front door, the owner that comes out, he gets to call the shots. You know, like that was the kind of shit that excited me, right? The power. So for me, never touching the shit. I remember
25, huh?
That was 25.
Late start.
First time. I remember, and this is true story, man. Fucking the guy he was a partner in San Jose. I don't want to drop his name or his affiliations, but he was super well connected. Guy did some time in Pelican Bay.
Heavy hitter.
And Pelican Bay solitary confinement.
He's a heavy hitter. Pelican Bay is no joke.
And I remember that one time that it happened. It was fucking. I saw these guys were going to the bathroom and
good old bathroom.
And I was just like, fuck, why do the guys keep going to the bathroom? You know,
you didn't know you're innocent.
I can't, but I was like, whatever, do your own thing, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't give a fuck until I was called to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was called to the bathroom, I walked in and I saw fucking some rails on there, and I was like, oof, okay. And one of the guys says, the main guy, he says, "Hey, do one." And I said, "Nah, I'm not touching that shit." I'm like, "No." He goes, "No, do one." And I said, "No, I'm good." He says, "No, do one."
He's not asking you, he's telling you.
Yeah. He's like, do one.
You don't have an option.
And I said, "Nah, I'm good." I was about to walk away. He's like, "No." I remember he pulled a fucking 357 out
That's nuts right there, bro.
Yeah. Pulled out a 357 gun of the closet, and he says, "You're gonna do one."
Whew. Wow, talk about peer pressure.
What the crazy part is,
this guy must have been connected. That was his business. Well, I'm gonna safely assume he was in the game.
He said, "You're gonna do it."
Yeah, because he want to make sure you're not a narc or a rat or a informant or some sort. He want to corrupt you in some way.
Or he just wanted me to be in the
part
mix.
of the crew.
That's it
for sure. But it made him feel comfortable by you doing it.
So I remember I'm like, okay. Now I don't ever talk about this, and this is crazy. So this is, you're getting the. I told you I was going to come in and be raw here with you.
Yeah.
And that's how it began. I remember fucking 25 years old. I ripped my first line.
Wow.
And the crazy part is that I didn't just do one. I did two because I had to cover both, right? And I remember I was like, damn, I actually liked it.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy part. And then because in my mind, I had seen it so much on TV, movies, and I seen it, but I never knew the association. What I really thought to myself, though, was
did you enjoy it, though?
It was, I didn't get to really say that I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because what I did think is that I just saved my own fucking life. I don't know what could have happened there. I mean, someone pulls out a gun on you. Now, it's not the first time it's ever happened to me as in my life.
Yeah.
As a kid, I saw that shit in the streets. Never at me, but I saw the shit. I saw it.
Yeah.
But I just, when someone pulls out a gun and says you're going to do something, it's like the saying, did they put a gun to your head? You're like, yeah, motherfucker. As a matter of fact, they did put a gun to my head. So.
Yeah, that's nuts. Because I had some friends that try to get me to do lines with them in high school. Similar situation to you. Pulled out the fucking thing. I kept telling them no. They kept persisting. I smacked it out of their hand, but they were pissed.
Yeah,
I said, I told you to fuck get out of my face, though. I said, I only smoke weed and drink. Now, how much more clear can I be? That was my thing. Smoke weed and drink. I didn't fuck with coke.
Yeah.
I'm very similar to you, though. I didn't really do I guess you could say like a harder drug till I was 24, which is ecstasy for me.
Yeah.
In 1999, I can remember. I fell in love with it too. I fell in love with it. Oh my goodness.
I gotta tell you, I've done that.
Fell in love with
I've done that a handful of times. Like I can count how many on one hand. That that I it's never liked that shit. And true story, man. I remember that one of the first times, or one of the few times that I tried it, bro, I'd go to the bathroom and I'm shitting rabbit pellets, bro. Like,
Mess your stomach up. They either love it or they hate it.
Yeah.
Or if they love the white girl, they don't love the ecstasy. Yeah. And vice versa. I never done coke. People even think I'm lying. I'm like, I've never done coke, motherfucker. Yeah. It's not my thing. It's ecstasy, yes. Weed, yes. Yeah. Drink, yes. Shrooms, yes. GHB, yes. You know, those 5 are mine. Oh, and I was addicted to Xanax at one point.
Oof. Yeah. So crazy for me. Like the drug of choice that was around me a lot was cocaine.
Of course, because nightclub.
It was in the nightclub, and you know what? We try to stay away from the stereotypes, but it's around. It's out there.
Bro,
it's around everywhere. And you'd be surprised of the people that you think that aren't doing it that are doing it.
The most clean cut dudes are doing it. The most corporate clean cut lawyers, judges, doctors are doing it.
It's bananas. But again, I stayed focused. Something like that never derailed me from my work ethic and my focus. And like I said, man, it was just one of those things that do I regret it? Yeah, it's you know, that I didn't stand my ground on somebody. But what the fuck do you say when you got a gun about to be put to your head, dude?
You don't. Yeah.
Yeah. So at that point, I just felt that my body was no longer pure. Right. I felt that I had, you know,
a little dirty.
I felt that. That's actually how I felt. As a matter of fact, I felt dirty after, because for so long, I thought that I would never do something like that, especially seeing it at a young age, from 15 years old to 25. That's 10 years, man.
Yeah.
And I think I held my ground pretty well, because it was always there around me as a kid, you know, just being exposed to the shit I was being exposed to. And yeah, man. So fucking 25 years old, and the crazy part that, at the same time, that was when I was opening up my own nightclub, The Vault. That's
a young age to be opening up a club. That's pretty crazy in itself right there for a young man.
I got to see some crazy shit, man. 2008, if it wasn't for 2008, we would have kept going, but 2008, the world turned upside down.
Everything came crashing down.
Yeah, you got the fucking stock market, you got the real estate market.
That was nuts, bro.
I mean, I remember when, man, so before we jump there, I mean, when we opened up the vault, man, in 1 year, we fucking paid back our debt. I mean, it was $1 million to build that motherfucker. And I said I didn't have any money to do this stuff. I went out and I borrowed money. I had people trust in me and believe in me, and we made this shit happen.
Yeah.
And again, I was not afraid. I was never afraid to ask. And that's just something that, again, it's just part of my DNA, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So... Crazy part though is that, and I seen some of the patterns, and I see how, like, kind of when I look at how we reconnected during that time, during that 2008, 7, 8, man, I remember I had gained so much weight. I had a Ferrari 360 Spider, but I fucking looked sloppy on the outside. I had you know, hot chicks, you know. Yeah, I know why the hot chicks were hanging out, because fucking everything was being taken care of, you know.
Of course.
It wasn't because of my physique, you know, and it was crazy to think about, you know, all the different people, and then the relationships and the unfaithfulness and
backstabbing.
Oh God, it was.
You look back at life, you're like, damn, I wish I had this knowledge back then. You would have made things could have been different, but obviously you're young. You learn, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, This is what I love. I love this. It says most millionaires. I don't want to fuck this up. It's either 9 or 11 times. It's my boy Adam Schaefer, shout out to him, said fail before they become millionaires.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
So along the journey, you got to fail. That's how you learn. Yeah. Nobody gets to, even the billionaires, no one gets to where they're at by not failing. And
no. To get to the billionaires, you got to lose millions. And to get to millions, you got to lose hundreds of thousands of dollars before you get to millions. So, you know, I'm not shy of this. I've been talking about this shit forever, man. Since I was a kid, I said, I'm going to be a billionaire. One way or another, I'm going to get there. I'm going to manifest it. And you know, have I lost? Fuck yeah, I've lost, man. I've lost a lot. I've won a lot, but I've lost a lot too.
Yeah.
And the losses are the ones that hurt, because fuck, you don't, and sometimes you lose when you're not supposed to lose, or you think you're not supposed to lose, but you learn from those losses. And that's that for me, man. It's
painful lessons.
Woo. man.
But you learn. You game yourself up, unfortunately. You also, I tell people who, I'm just had my 10-year wedding anniversary with my wife.
Yeah, congratulations.
It hasn't been.
I'm going to be going down that path soon, bro. It's going to be on.
I know. Listen, and it has, and like anything in life, it has its bumps and bruises, and it's never smooth, but you keep fighting, you keep learning, you keep growing. So when people don't find their go-to person, or they had relationships in the past where it failed, I'm like, don't look at it as failures. Look at it like you learn lessons from those of what you don't want for your future.
Right.
So you learn, you get better. Like, this is not the person I want. These are the characteristics and flaws. Because you got to, the main thing I could tell you, the main advice I can give you when it comes to that, it all has to come down to compatibility. Without compatibility, forget it.
Yeah.
You have to be on the same field, same everything, same trajectory, same direction in life. You can't be one over here and one over there. You got to come together.
Fuck that. I wouldn't want to be in that kind of relationship. I think, it's just like in business, right? Everyone's got to be on the same page.
Yes.
And that's
exactly.
That's why, for me, I've been successful in business, or consistent in business, is because I keep all the directions going I always keep everything going in the same direction or in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know, not let shit go all over the place.
Yeah.
Because then it can get out of control, and then when it gets out of control, then you have no control.
Yeah.
Just like anything with yourself, right? Like there's moments where I've been fit, and then there's moments when I just got out of control. And going out of control was eating more, partying too much, drinking too much, fucking no sleep, no balance.
No.
And it's not even about balance. It's just more like consistency in doing the things that in order to stay in that right mindset.
Yeah.
And when I fall off, man. I mean, it was crazy to see that after the vault days, after 2010, man, life just started spiraling out of control with me.
Happen.
Bro, the universe is got a plan, and fucking, so moving right along. I mean, I've always, had a knack for business, and yeah.
Good thing is you never quit or gave up. And a lot of people, when they get knocked down as bad as you did, like you're on top and all of a sudden your empire crumbles, most people stay down there.
Yeah.
You said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna get my head out of the sand. I'm gonna dig deep and I'm gonna build myself back up.
Yeah.
And that's people need to learn resilience and learn when you face adversity, you got to keep fighting. Don't give up in life.
Yeah.
And I said and this is why I preach on my Instagram, is you guys got to stop giving up on yourselves. You got to stop using age, and you got to stop using excuses, because today's era, everybody's on a race to the grave, especially in our age group. A lot of guys are dropping like flies. A lot of my childhood friends, gone, done, deceased, because they didn't take care of their health. They took it for granted.
Yeah.
So that's why I say we can't take it for granted. We have to embrace every day that we're alive and breathing, because tomorrow's not promised.
Yeah.
You gotta stop taking this shit for granted.
It's definitely, I think now, so we started this journey.
Talk about your journey with me.
But we started in October, November of 2023. I don't even know how we reconnected, but you ended up
on Facebook. You reached out to me.
Something happened, and I just remember you came to my office. We talked, and you said something about wanting to do business with me, and I was like, oh, okay, I've heard that shit before, right? People just talking. So one of the things that I use as a filter is like, all right, well, if you want to do business with me, here's a copy of my books, right? I always ask people, do you read, right? Because if they say, nah, I don't read, I'm like, well, fuck it, you're going to read anyways, but that's the opener. And I remember I gave you a copy of both of my books, Smoke and Mirrors and Decide, Commit, Execute, and signed them and everything. And I said, yeah, we'll read it, blah, blah, blah. Fuck, bro, the next day you call me, you're like, hey, I read them both. Or in 2 days, you call me, you're like, I read them both, and then you start... Then you hit me with, hey, how do you feel about yourself? And I was like, what the fuck? I mean, I knew that I had a problem, but I didn't realize I had a problem. I was just, the blinders were on.
Yeah.
And I knew, I was aware that I had stopped taking care of myself, and whatever excuses I was using, whether it was stress or whatever, I just stopped taking care of myself. And I own a gym, and I was like, even coming to the gym, I was fucking gordo.
That's because you didn't have structure.
Yeah.
You were lost. You were off the path. You didn't know. You knew where you wanted to go, but you really have no idea. You didn't have a GPS tracker, which I come into play. It's like, all right, trying to get you in the right direction.
And I remember that conversation. I was like, when I felt like you were like, damn, this motherfucker's calling me out. I know you, but we didn't like. We're not homies like that. You know, we're industry homies, and we know a lot of common people. But
we weren't personal. Like
yeah,
deep.
not deep. And I remember when you called me out. At least I felt called out. Right? I was like, what the fuck?
I probably did.
Yeah, no, and actually that was actually like it clicked. It turned me on, not turned me on, but turned me on. Like, whoa, motherfucker! Like, it's like streets.
I used your own words against you.
Yeah. But it went in a good way because it made me check myself and be like, yeah, motherfucker, you look at yourself in the mirror before you start talking shit. Because what are you going to say? Oh, I'm not when you are?
Yeah, it's true. And I use that a lot and it pisses people off, man.
Hey, bro, I'm fucking 230 pounds when you reconnected with me. I fucking never weighed that kind. Dude, that's embarrassing. I hope you show that picture of me when I'm fucking 230 pounds.
Oh, yeah, I got that
picture. That's fucking disgusting. Dude, I've
been there too, though. So I call myself out. So I know exactly how you feel because I've been up to 260. So I know exactly what you feel like.
I feel sick. I look at myself. I'm like, what the fuck? Fuck, I wouldn't want to fucking touch that dude.
That's because you're all over the place. You had no structure.
No, man, I was a fucking hot mess.
Your goal was to chase money, cut deals, but you forgot about you, and people lose sight of themselves. And the most important person, like you say, you always bet on yourself. You gotta bet on yourself, and that's the problem. No one believes in themselves anymore. They quit before they even start. Like, they don't believe they can get there. It's not impossible. It's gonna take some work. It's gonna take some discipline and structure.
It takes
and
work.
The demons are gonna come. The demons are gonna come fight you. Let it come along the way and test you, and you got to just, again, you got to be resilient.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I definitely. So when we reconnected, and you put that challenge before me, I took you up on it because here's how I look at things. Just like we talked about earlier, how is someone going to teach you something that they never done? And I remember seeing you, and fuck yeah, bro, you were a bigger dude, and it wasn't like it was like it was a beefier. But it wasn't lean and mean, right?
Yeah.
And I just remember, and then I remember all the people they used to hang out with again because of the different party crews or party scenes that we were involved in.
Yeah.
And I just remember, I was like, wait, this motherfucker, like, first of all, you look good. I was like, damn. And I know that you shredded it all, not because you were sick. You did it because you turned on that switch and you decided to make a fucking decision.
Yes.
That's why my book resonated so much, and fucking you used it against me because you even said it. He goes, I understand what you're saying here. And when you flipped it on me, I was like, fuck, I wrote that book and I'm not even taking my own advice. And I think that's what triggered me out.
Yeah.
Like, if you can call me out, imagine how many other people that don't have the balls to fucking call me out.
Exactly.
Ooh. And
I
think
that's cheerleaders in life.
And then that's kind of what triggered a lot of other things in my life was the fact that nobody had the fucking balls to fucking call me out.
Yeah.
Whether they were afraid of me, they didn't want to disrespect me. Fuck that. I mean, now even more, my intensity is so much higher. I would rather you tell me the fucking truth. Just like in business, I expect people to tell me the truth.
I cracked the whip on you along the way, man. I know you didn't like it sometimes.
No. Hey, but
I'm like, you know what? And that way I always say is like, you didn't hire me to be your cheerleader. You hired me to tell you the fucking truth.
That's right.
You hired me to coach you.
That's right.
It's the same thing. If I came to you with business advice and you gave me step 1, 2, 3 to do, and I'm not following those steps, you're like, Mike, you're not doing the work.
Yeah.
You got to master each step before you get to step 4, 5, 6, 7,
That's
8, 9,
right.
10.
Yeah.
Same thing. You got to do this.
It's funny you say that because you're right. So when I jumped onto the program and you started teaching me the macros, at first it was hard because I wasn't used to it.
Yeah.
But once I got the hang of it, bro, I was eating burritos, tacos, fucking burgers.
Well, I taught you like a bank account. You're the bank. You're the company.
Yeah.
This is how much I got to spend on the company. This is my allotted every day. And return on investment, what you're making on your money is protein. And once you learn that and you learn I can't go over calories, it's a piece of cake. But people overthink it, man.
Listen, man, once I learned the system, just like in business, once you learn how to make the first million, you'll make the second, the third, the fourth. And you got to go hard. You got to go hard and not be afraid.
You have to have self-belief in this. And you have to look beyond the man you see in the mirror. Yep.
Down 34, 36 pounds. I'm floating. I want to get down. I want to try to shave another 20. Just to challenge myself. So from 230 to 180.
Don't say want to, say you're gonna.
We're gonna.
You got to change the mindset.
Yeah, no, we're
and
gonna.
Don't ever use I can't. Too many people use I can't or it's too hard or, they second guess. Like, no, you got to see what's underneath. You got to look at the man in the mirror and be like, I know what's under there. I'm going to take this off. All we're doing is shaving weight and body fat. It's not impossible.
I'm going to tell you right now. My life has changed so much since I started this journey back in October, November with you. The people that I've surrounded myself with, the energy, the vibes, bro, the people that I've cut out of my life.
Yeah.
Quiet that motherfucking noise. Hardcore.
I could tell.
I ain't juggling anymore like I used to. I'm not juggling between people in my life.
Got to be a shark in life sometimes, man. It ain't easy, but you got to be.
Amen. Some of those people are getting cut out of my life because they just weren't honest with me either.
Yep.
And for me, I'd rather hear full, true honesty and not hear a story on why you weren't honest with me. Because
correct.
Yeah, like I can respect you more if you were just honest with me. But if you tell me a story, I'm like, then you did me a disservice.
You gotta understand something, man. Everybody wants what I have and where you're going to. And money can't buy this at all. No. So when you get there and you master yourself and you truly master yourself and you have this level of discipline, you can conquer anything in life. Yeah. Nothing seems out of reach because you're on a different playing field. Your mind is sharper, stronger, you're moving better, your energy. You just know I could run with the best of them. Yeah. Can they keep up with me?
That's right. That's
what's happening.
And yeah, that's what it comes down to. You know, one of the biggest things that I've realized, Mike, and I'm not completely sober yet, but that's
I know,
my
target. The demons, yeah. You're fighting those demons.
But when you stop fucking around with the drugs and the nightlife, or not the nightlife, let's not blame the nightlife, but when you stop fucking around with shit like that, your life,
the smoke clears.
The clarity kicks in.
Yes.
And then even differently, like even the drinking I mean, I've been drinking since I was a kid, right?
Yep.
Thank God I can never say it was an alcoholic, like I needed to drink in order to get through the day.
Yeah.
But it was like social drinking on fucking steroids, right? Like,
of course.
That was the excuse, right? But what I've realized, man, is the clarity, the mindset that I'm at just from just cleansing my body, my soul from all of that.
Yeah.
Shit. Quieting all the noise.
And that's what's gonna elevate. And that's what I told you. When you eventually one day, I don't tell my clients how to live, but eventually you clear that alcohol out and you have a complete 100% mental clarity and you flip yourself.
Yeah.
You're gonna be on a whole different playing field.
Interesting. One of your other boys, Victor. Yeah. So I've been working out with him.
Monster.
And he is a fucking beast, bro.
Yes.
But by the way, good shout out to him, bro. Victor Gonzalez, right? That motherfucker's off the hook. He's
TC Capone.
He's off the hook. He fucking called me out. I was like, I said, yeah, well, just like give us soft. He's like, bro, really? He goes, you're gonna use that shit? He goes, just fucking stop. I was like,
damn.
Just fucking stop. Just don't like call me out like straight like. I was like, this motherfucker just called me out right now, like, and I can give him that respect, right?
Yeah.
Because I know where he I know where he represents.
Oh, he's about it too, yeah.
And he's about it, and you can see when you turn on that bull, bro, son. So that shit's been on my mind for the last couple of days, bro. It's been crazy. I'm like, fuck. If it happens, it happens. Now at this point, I'm determined to continue this clarity of my mind, and I'm determined to get into that club that I want to get into.
Yeah.
I'm determined. It's going to happen. The deals, all it takes is one deal for me to fucking break through to that stuff.
It's going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Mm-hmm. And another thing you got to understand, you just turned 48.
Yeah, man.
So you ain't a kid no more.
No.
You got to cut the shit. You got to look at, this is what I gave it up, bro. I didn't ever have a problem with alcohol. Never been my vice. I was a social drinker like you. Here and there on the weekend, one or two. But I asked myself, I said, is this conducive to my health? And I've been partying since I was a kid. And when I partied, when I was deep in the party scene, I was cracking bottles in Vegas going 2-3 days straight. I'm talking in a row, day and night partying. I'm very extreme. Fast forward to when I gave it up like 14, 15, I said, do I really need this in my life? Is it really conducive to my health? No. Is it hindering me? Yes. I need mental clarity. And then last Halloween, this was hard to do, bro. I damn near fucking cried when I did as I gave up weed.
Yeah.
My love. That's my true love.
Yeah,
weed.
no, that's
that was
crazy.
tough, bro.
Yeah.
It took a month of withdrawals and going through it to give it up. Wasn't easy.
That's
hard.
Crazy.
People think weed's not addictive. They're a goddamn lie. The chemicals they use in today's weed is way different from when we were growing up as kids.
Really?
Way stronger.
Yes, yeah, I wouldn't know.
I had sweat. I was sweating every night in bed, wet in the bed, you know, from dripping from withdrawals. It was tough. It's almost like I went through a Xanax withdrawal. It's not easy.
Damn. That's
Janine could attest to it. She saw it, man. It was my mood swing was up and down. It was all over the place. But I had to give it up. I had to tell myself, like, I've been doing this shit since a kid. Grow the fuck up, Mike. It's time to grow. I'm gonna be 50 next year. It's time to grow. I'm going to the third quarter of my life.
Yeah.
First quarter is 1 through 25, 0 through 25. 25 to 50 is the second quarter. Now we're entering the third quarter. We can't fuck around no more.
I like that.
This is time to fucking lock in.
Well,
no more.
I'm gonna finish the second quarter strong, and I'm gonna jump into the third fucking hardcore.
Ready.
Yeah, just
different level.
So for me, man, I'm at that point now too, where I'm valuing every day. I'm waking up now in the state of mind of gratitude.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm very grateful for everything that I have. I'm grateful for the people that are in my life right now. I'm very thankful for you and your wife for being in my life, because you guys switched on things that already I knew about, but I just wasn't practicing anymore.
Yeah.
And once I started to re-practice what I already knew and enhance it, right, make it better.
Of course.
Then I'm seeing the results. And again, not only physically have I seen the results, but mentally and in my business, I'm seeing the results. So what I may be thinking that it's costing me time and money right now, it's actually, in the long run, it would be a lot more worse if I continued the path that I was in.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, man, it's fucking crazy. I just, again, I just appreciate everything that's been going down, and appreciate everything that you've done. And we got to just keep going. And, again, not get lost in the weeds anymore. Right now.
That's life. It's never going to be perfect. Things are going to come our way. But when you're in good physical shape, you're in good mental shape, you can fight these things. You're ready for them. You're not going to crumble. A lot of people crumble because mentally they're not there. They're not mentally strong and fit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just like in business, if you don't have a strong stomach, a strong mind, you're going to fail. You learn from your failures, right?
Yes.
So failing is not a bad thing. It's just remember why you failed and what your feelings were like. What was your state of mind? What was your emotions like? And then you remember then not to go into that space again.
Do you feel it's important that to have a coach?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And what is the importance of having a coach?
I have coaches. I have mentors.
So people understand this, because I think a lot of people don't value coaches.
Yeah, no. Fuck that.
And mentors.
We all need coaches. We all need mentors. I call them my advisory team. I need an advisory team. I need somebody that knows more than I do. I need somebody that can keep it real with me. And it can't be your friends. It can't be a family member. That's family and friends. You need a fucking person that you pay for their service to coach.
Yep.
And because there's an exchange,
yes.
Just like money, right? Money flows.
Yes.
You got to you give a service. That service is valued at something, and here's the exchange. You give a service, and you're expecting to get rewarded for your service. So absolutely. Fucking, I already told you, my shit's on auto pay. It's till the end, I guess. I'm not tripping off of that. That's part of life now. And I need that, and I'm going to hold you accountable if you don't hold me accountable.
For sure.
And I think that, absolutely. Coaching, life coach, nutrition coach, a health coach, a workout coach.
Finance coach,
fucking
business.
Finance coach, everything. But smart people, though, too, that you can verify that you know that they have hit those spots. You can't go to a guy that's never made $1 million to try to teach you how to make $1 million.
Bingo.
You can't go to somebody that's never lost weight to tell you how to lose weight, right?
Got to choose your why and which direction you want to go with your life and health.
Yeah. No, man, absolutely. So, yeah, definitely. And I appreciate it, you being my coach, nutrition coach, and life coach too, man, because you kind of blend in there. You kind of throw some fucking
for sure.
You throw some hooks on me, and I'm like, what the fuck?
We don't just do nutrition. We do like life coaching, personal development,
and your wife too. Your wife fucking she's
a whip cracker.
She's a fucking beast, bro. So anyway, she's badass. So.
Right on, my brother. Thank you for coming on the show. This was some heat, man.
No, I love it. Hey, man.
We'll do a part 2 soon, though, because there's still a lot more to tell.
Oh, yeah. No, you guys just got a little glimpse.
A little glimpse.
Shit. Yeah, We can do a fucking 3-hour show here.
We're gonna circle back, man. I don't know when, but closer to the new year, maybe in the new studio. We're gonna
Actually,
visit this guy to see what he
yes.
looks like in 2-3 months.
Yes.
Hold his ass accountable. He should be in the 80s by then, by end of year.
Ooh, I'm at what did I weigh in today?
195?
Yeah, 195, 195.6 or 8.
We got 16. We got about 4 months left to get towards the new year. It's 4 pounds a month. I'm gonna call this guy out. You see that?
And I feel good, man. Actually, I look a lot better than what I was before. I mean, before I would have had a panza sticking out.
And your face. And you look tired. And you had black eyes from the drinking.
I did.
Of course, bro.
I had the yellow spots.
Yes.
Man. Yeah, that's what people that have yellow spots, I don't know if you know, they have yellow spots on the side of their eye. That's their liver from the drinking.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
It is.
Yeah.
So
they're not healthy, man. But anyways, man, well, thank you for having me on your show.
All right, my brother.
Let's make it happen and fucking we're in, man.
And we'll see y'all on the next one.
Let's go.